and welcome back to another Sims 3 speed build. So, hopefully you guys are ready for some Sims 3 builds, because I have a lot of them. We have a lot, a whole lot from all my testing, basically, from what was going on, so there's a lot of them. So I'm sorry if you were looking forward to Sims 4, and those of you who are ready for Sims 3, well, here you go. We're going to have a lot of them. So, this one should be the last one that has any of that glitching. I hope, anyway. So, I'm pretty sure because, in fact, it was in the middle of this build where I ended up just completely uninstalling everything and starting from scratch a second time. And so I actually, the beginning of it, along with probably until the living room I think gets done, I think it is, or maybe half the living room is furnished, when I ended up having to stop it because I didn't have any of the expansion packs or anything in it, and I didn't know if I had any store content in it or not. So I had to stop or postpone the build of this one until I knew I had everything back in before I could start going back to it. So, hopefully, because it crashed a lot in this one because I was doing a lot of testing in this one. So, I'm trying to figure out what was wrong and testing RAM and doing this and doing that. So, there's a lot of crashes in this one. How many of them that will have the glitch of the mouse, I don't know. But, hopefully I was able to recreate whatever I had done previously in the video. So I hope. I'm usually pretty close. A lot of times if I'm unsure on what was in the house or in the furnishings, I do look at the video prior just to kind of make sure. I figure, you know, the game has already crashed. Might as well, right? So in this house, I had actually decided, I hadn't done one yet, but they don't have any windows really good for a screened-in porch. And that's kind of what I had decided to do. Kind of like it was an add-on later in the house. Like maybe it started off having a porch to start with, like a covered porch. And I decided to enclose it. And of course, that's kind of what the look on the beginning is. I thought it would be neat. I hadn't done a house with this kind of detail before, and thought why not give it a try. I kind of like ranch homes that have an enclosed porch like this. I think it looks kind of nice, gives them some character that a lot of ranch homes don't have. And if you're wondering, a ranch home, this don't look like any ranch home I've ever seen. A lot of people think of ranches as in the ones out west of the United States. I'm not sure where else in the world they are, but they would be in the western area of the United States, where they are these big lavish homes that also have, you know, a whole bunch of cattle and horses and like lots and lots of acreages of land. I'm not referring to those kind of ranches. A ranch style home is also considered a one-story home. So that's pretty much what I did here, was just a one-story home, and thought I would create like a enclosed porch to go along with it, just to give it a little bit more added character. So you see a lot of these around where I live, a lot of one-story homes, I should say, a lot of ranches like this. So some basic landscaping. I decided to paint on some of the flowers for like a ground cover. I thought that might add a little bit something different. I haven't done that before. I knew they were there, but I never really seen a reason to use them. So there's some more basic landscaping around the house. I don't know if I put any, I can't remember if I put any playground stuff in the backyard or not, to tell you the truth. I'm not really too sure. So now I'm going to go in and do the floor plan of the house. It is a 2-bedroom. It has 2 baths and a laundry room. I'm kind of surprised I remember all that because it feels like so long ago that I had done this house. But yeah, it's kind of sort of an open floor plan. Not really. The kitchen is kind of closed off, but you do have the entryway with the living room, which is also very common in a ranch style. Either the front door either goes right into the living room, or they'll have a section that's kind of closed off, or maybe it's closed with half walls and pillars or something or another, a divider of some kind between the living room and the entryway. So the dining room is also connected to the living room, so that's kind of, I guess, a little bit more open. It's kind of towards the back and the living room's in the front. It just seemed like there was a lot of space actually in this house, considering how small it felt like I was making a small house, but in all actuality, as you can see, it's not. This area right here is where it crashed on me over and over and over. I think I had to redo the living room and the kitchen so many times. So many times. So hopefully, if you happen to see something get done a second time, that's because I didn't remember it the first time. And I ended up remembering it the next time I had to record it, or a little bit later, and I remembered, oh, I forgot that. So I think the living room lamp, you kind of see it right there now, the green lamp by the blue chair. That will eventually disappear for just a short time, but it will reappear. That's one of the objects I forgot about in between recordings. So, just going through getting the wood color that I would like to do throughout the house. Because, believe it or not, a lot of times your trimming around the windows or actually do match usually your kitchen cabinets and any other wood details in the house, like if you have any beams or anything like that. So that's why a lot of times my trim will match my my kitchen counters and stuff like that. So yeah, just going through and pretty much decorating the house like I normally do. I decided I didn't want to do tile this time in the kitchen. I do tile a lot. I just find that is cleaner, or I should say it's easier to clean. Not all your painting walls or wallpaper walls or paneling is best for kitchens because it can be really difficult to wipe clean. So that's just kind of how I look at it. I know in The Sims they don't actually do any of that stuff, and I think of that because I know you do that in real life, so that's just something I think about. So, but I decided I wanted to go with just maybe a border instead. So, the kitchen is pretty basic. There really isn't a whole lot in there. The way the setup was really didn't seem to leave very much for me to do. So, yeah, just some basic stuff here and there. The kitchen or the living room here seems to have a little bit more stuff done to it. It has a little sitting area. I didn't know what to do with that space back there. I guess I could have put a computer or something. I didn't think about that. I don't think there's a computer. Is there a computer in this house? I don't think there is. I'm not really too sure. So, yeah, I think I put that painting and those sconces on the wall, I don't know how many times. And these pictures here, I don't know how many times I had to go back in and put those back on. And oh my goodness, it was a lot this time around because no matter what I did in the suggestions on the forum, nothing was working. So this was constantly crashing and I had to continue playing or building until it crashed. That way I could report back. And it was just, oh my goodness, it was really, really aggravating. This is definitely not something I would want to do again. I think it was in my main Sims file. I really do. As you can see, I just had to recolor that lamp a second time because I apparently forgot it. I don't know if you caught it or not, but that lamp for a brief moment was green. But yeah, I decided to go with kind of a blue. Let me tell you though, doing this many builds all at once, I hope their quality is still good. Like, I'm sure the quality of this house at the beginning is still good. I hope the bedrooms didn't suffer because I went back and did those bedrooms and I think the bathroom and laundry room after I'd already done like 8 or 9 other builds. So, yeah, I was getting pretty to the point where I felt like I was doing the same themes over and over. I felt like my bathrooms were starting to look the same. I think it was just too many builds in such a short time that it just, oh my gosh. I'm starting to build a house again now, but I'm not looking forward, I don't think, to the like doing the interior, the decorating, because of the fact that I have done so much. So I'm not really looking forward to it. I tried to spice them up a little bit. I tried to make them look unique and different. But you know, when it comes to a bathroom, there really isn't much you can do. And there's only so many colors on the color wheel. So you're bound to feel like you repeat. So I did like the way this screened in porch or enclosed porch or whatever you want to call it kind of turned out. It's a little bit different designing than the rest of the house. I kind of left it look like it wasn't really, you know, updated, like it doesn't have drywall or anything like that. It still has like maybe some wood paneling. It looks like a porch basically is what I was going for. And I thought this would be a great place. I mean, somebody with this many windows, you're going to have all kinds of, you know, I would anyway, all kinds of plants. So, yeah, that's kind of about it on that room. I didn't do a whole lot. I was, you know, looking forward to doing that room because I knew it was going to be different, but then I got into the bedrooms and like I said, it started to feel like I was just doing the same thing over and over, and there's that same bookshelf that I feel like I think I've used a lot in these past builds. You're bound to see that mirror and that bookshelf I think a lot. I feel like I used them probably too much. So I don't know. So I hope the quality has not suffered. I almost feel like it has, but I'm hoping it didn't. So I decided to go with the green room. This kind of came across to me more of a guest room, and I thought I'd do something a little bit different with the mirrors by making each one a different shade of brown. That way it just added a little something different. And yeah, here goes those curtains. I feel like I use those curtains a lot. I was just in a hurry, just trying to get this done. So yeah, I don't know if I got everything in that I normally do. I tried, so definitely tried. There's still a few things that I have noticed about my game, the objects. I don't know if it's because I got settings turned down or not. Like one time I was building, in that mirror that I had put into that bedroom there, it didn't have any glass. It was weird. You could go and see right through it. But then another time when I loaded the game after it crashed, it was there. The glass was there. So I don't know. And then I also have like that little vase with the yellow flower. I really like that flower, but I've noticed here in the past several months that I don't have a flower. I have the vase, but the little yellow flower is not there. I don't know if it's maybe a setting isn't set right. It's hard to say. I've had to change my settings so many times after this happened, but that was gone before. I haven't had that flower in months, long before these crashes started, so I have no idea why I don't have that flower. And then one time I put a mirror on the wall. You're probably gonna see it. I put a mirror on the wall and the little detailed lines on it aren't there, but it'll show up later. I don't know. It was weird. It's got to be a graphics thing. It must have some setting. That mirror right there. It's not in this house, but that's the mirror behind the dresser. You're going to see that in another house that I put in, and it's not going to have the lines. But as you can see, the lines are there. So I don't know. It just, a lot of things I noticed. I almost didn't put that mirror in because I thought maybe something was wrong with it. I was like, you know what? It's probably just my game. And it'll probably just show up perfectly for you guys when you download it because it's probably in my game settings. I probably don't have something quite right. But this build is actually getting pretty close to the end. This is the last bathroom here. I can't remember what color we go with. I like these shower and bath combos, but the one thing I absolutely hate the most about them is you can only turn them one direction. They can only go facing one way into the room, and I hate that because I don't always want it turned a certain way. Like I don't always want the shower head to be on a certain side of the wall because of maybe there's something I want to put there instead. But I do like them, so whenever I can use them and they will work in the layout, I tend to use them. They can be recolored halfway decent. Some of them you can't change the little detail coloring, but in this one you can. I believe I do change that. Yes, as you can see, I did change that to be a little bit different. I just felt that those tiles, I don't like them. So I decided I didn't want them. But now I'm just going through putting in the hidden hampers for you. That way you don't have laundry all over the place. That just helps keep the house look a little bit more neat. In my usual lighting of the exterior, I like to stick in lights in my landscaping somewhere just to help light it up, since the lights don't go from, from the ground floor to the first floor. They don't continue, so that just helps get lighting everywhere else. And now we're in the screenshots. This is kind of a short build. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any comments or suggestions, go ahead and leave them below. And I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.